political view tonight. And today we have a special guest speakers who are going to talk about gun control. First, he's a columnist for the Washington Post, Richard Cohen.
Hello, Robin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here, Richard. It's great to have you.
Thank you, Robin. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Now let's introduce our conservative point of view, who's a columnist for the New York Times, David Brooks. It's great to have you here, David.
It's great to be here, Robin.
Thank you. Now, since you guys are settled in, let's have a civil debate of gun control. David Brooks.
Thank you, Robin. Well, you see, Robin, the issue of gun control is huge and should be discussed deeply. On a brief introduction, I believe that if we're going to solve it, then we must ban guns for good for the sake of the people. The tragedy that has occurred in Newtown this past year cannot continue to happen. The people don't need guns because there is no threat anywhere, and when this law was made, our country was just starting out, and there were many dangers around, and it's the people's fault for not wanting to protect themselves from unseen.
Excuse me, David, but I would like to say that it is not the citizens' fault. It's the government's fault for making up false excuses to pretend like they're actually going to solve this problem, yet they still don't do anything. He will prevent tragedies like these from happening.
Excuse me, Richard, but I just want to clarify something. That both you and David believe that there should be some limit on gun control in America?
Yes, you are correct. But what this debate is about is how to handle it and who it is to blame for these tragedies.
David, if I'm correct, you are saying that gun control is not important right now, correct?
Richard, I believe that there are far bigger problems than this one at the moment. But it is a concern that needs to be addressed the correct way, by allowing only the people without mental illnesses to own a gun. But I think they should hold tests to make sure that the people purchasing the guns are safe.
You see, what David has just said is the exact same thing I said the government is doing. They are making up false excuses to make the public think they actually intend to solve the problem with guns, but they are actually never going to get rid of guns.
What do you expect? To go around each and every person's home to search through the premises and collect all the guns? With that implying that all the people that do not have guns will also be searched and their weapons confiscated. What do you expect us to do with all those weapons? And not to mention the rebellion of the people whose firearms get taken away.
No, David. Do you really expect me to think the government will allow such outrageous things to be even considered?
Well, guys, I think you should take down a notch, okay?
My apologies, Robin. It will not happen again.
I'm sorry, Robin. I promise it won't happen again.
Thank you. Well, back to the topic at hand. So you both agree that the public should not have military-grade weapons?
Especially those, Robin. We cannot live peacefully in a society where guns shoot 60 bullets with a touch of a finger.
I agree with Richard on this point because those weapons are not appropriate for the average person to be carrying around because there is no need for them.
How does the public even get access to these weapons?
Oh, Robin, you'd be surprised at how easy it is to get a gun in America. For example, I know for a fact that the public can get a military gun, a military-grade M16A4, which shoots 800 rounds per minute at only $586.
Wow, that is very fascinating. On the same note, another controversial subject on gun control is how many rounds a gun should have. What are your opinions on
Well,
that?
Robin, I believe that at most it should be a small handgun that could only shoot about 6 bullets. Even one bullet can seriously injure someone or even kill them.
Yes, I agree with this comment. If one gunshot can kill a person, imagine how much damage an automatic firearm can do, causing some states to place additional restrictions on such weapons.
Also, some states have enacted castle doctrine or stand your ground laws, which have provided a legal basis for individuals to use deadly force in self-defense in certain situations. without a duty or flee or retreat if possible.
And do you both agree with these laws? Because I know that, in fact, that in some states you don't have to have a permit to buy or sell a gun.
Yes, Robin, that is true. In some states, an average citizen can buy a military-grade gun, and the state would have no record of this purchase, but because it wouldn't be counted. Personally, I think the government has made a grave mistake doing this.
I believe so too. I think that the state or locality should keep these records or counts of guns bought and sold to keep an average amount of guns spread across America.
So in conclusion, both sides agree that there should be a ban of gun limits and or a complete ban of guns in America. Not just the government's or the people's fault, but it's the whole nation's fault. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes.
On the topic of gun control, my mind is made up. Not all guns should be banned, just those arms which are military-grade affiliated. That draws a conclusion to our points of gun control in America with liberal and conservative points of view. Thank you for joining us today on Political View. Now let's introduce our conservative point of view, Now let's introduce our columnist for the...
Well, you see, Robin, the issue of gun control is huge and should be discussed deeply. Well, you see, Robin, the issue of gun control is huge. On a brief introduction, I believe if we're gonna have to ban the tragedy that has
happening. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry.
address, but it is a concern that needs to be corrected. Allowing only the men.
You see
What do you expect? Going around and searching. With that implying that all the people that do not have guns will also be searched and their weapons confiscated. Then what do you expect us to do with all those weapons?
No, David, do you really expect me to believe the government will allow such outrageous events to be even considered? Outrageous things to occur? What?
You guys, I think you should calm down a little, okay?
I don't want to go down!
Jeez, guys, I think you should take down Ron, okay? Okay, guys, I think you should take down Notch, okay? Oh, okay. Oh, guys, I think you should. Okay.
Give her a round.
On topic of gun. Seriously?